The FIFA sliders are one of those things we all know exist, but most of us will never fully understand. Personally, I've been using them for years. I think they make the game way more fun, and today I'll be letting you know exactly how to set them up and how to find a set that works for you. So first of all, what exactly are sliders? Well, they're an easy way to change how FIFA plays on the pitch and make the game a little bit more like what you enjoy playing. If you think the game is a bit too fast, you can decrease player movement speed or the ball speed. If you think things are slightly too tough, you can boost your own shooting accuracy or lower the AI's goalkeeping ability. In short, the FIFA sliders are exactly what they sound like. They're a series of sliding scales that adjust various parts of the game and combine into gameplay that you see in matches. A small change here can make a really big difference, so it is important to know what's going on with each slider. It takes a little bit of trial and error to get things spot on, but I'll share my sliders that I use towards the end of this video. In fact, you might have even seen a recent stream I did on this channel. Because I've moved from PS5 to PC, I'd actually forgotten to set up my sliders before I started streaming. I thought the game was feeling pretty bad. The AI was moving like angry wasps, and neither team's goalkeeper could make a save. These were things that I felt in those first few weeks of FIFA 23, but I haven't felt since because of sliders. Thanks to the sliders, I spent 7 months playing a game I actually enjoy. I made FIFA into a slower paced, more tactical and lower scoring game, and I have to say it has been one of my favourite FIFAs for a long time. You can even tune the gameplay to be slightly different throughout multiple seasons of a career mode. To make players with really high stats stand out, I like to increase the pass and shot error more when I'm playing in lower leagues. This means if I've got a player with 75 passing, he'll be able to pass more accurately than someone with 55. So having this one player with a really high stat really can make a difference, and I do feel like he's worth keeping. If you don't play in the lower leagues, you could even do something like lowering the running speed for international games. These games are usually played at a slower speed than domestic football or continental football, so having a slightly lower sprint speed could be realistic for your international matches. Hopefully by now, you're starting to get a decent idea about what sliders can actually do for gameplay, but what slider settings should you try first? The set I've been using since week 1 of FIFA 23 came from Operation Sports, which is a forum that's been posting realistic gameplay sliders since FIFA 15. With 9 years of experience tuning sliders, you can imagine they are pretty good, and in my opinion the best that I've found online. So let's quickly run through what I use and what I enjoy on FIFA, and I'll also tell you about why I make changes to certain values. The sliders we're about to talk about are designed to keep the game realistic on legendary difficulty, so it might be worth looking at other sliders or doing slight changes if you do want to play it easier or harder. So, sprint speed. This only affects the players off the ball. I'm currently using 20 for myself and 50 for the AI. This means that the AI is out of position less often and makes the opposition's counterattacks more dangerous than my own. You might think this is a really big value difference, but I really do like the challenge that this causes. My players being able to run slightly slower off the ball than the AIs means that their players are going to usually cover my attacks and stop me from scoring a huge amount of goals. I now use 50 acceleration for both myself and the AI, but as Operation Sports notes, this is the easiest way to make the game easier or tougher. If you increase this by a couple of points for yourself, it'll make things a lot easier. You'll win every 50-50 ball, and you'll be able to get to the ball a lot faster than the AI. If you want things to be slightly tougher, increase the AIs by a couple of points. This will make the game harder, and the AI more combative in midfield. You'll get a lot more fouls, and it'll just be a lot more competitive. Shot error at 80 means that AI scores less of those laser-guided volleys from the 6-yard box, and also means that finesse one-on-ones from myself are not a guaranteed goal. It's a good way to keep scores more realistic, which was a real problem for me in the first few weeks of FIFA 23. I keep pass error at 63 for a similar reason. It also means more turnovers in midfield and makes me think about playing the safe ball more often than that really risky long-range on-the-floor pass past 3 AI players. I feel like having this a little bit higher also stops the AI from going prime Barca mode, you know, when they spam 25 passes in 10 seconds and somehow fluke a goal out of nowhere. I like the default shot speed, so I keep this at 50, but pass speed is lowered to 32 for both me and the AI. Lowering this helps both sides win interceptions, also making the possession and pass completion stats a bit more realistic. Because I play a lot of career mode, and I'm going to assume you do as well if you're watching this video, I like to have my injury severity at 55 and frequency at 75. You might have noticed in some of my saves I've uploaded on YouTube that I do get a lot of short-term injuries. This is fully because I enjoy the squad management part of the game that having these sliders causes. If you want to have a big squad and you want to keep rotating in a realistic way, this is the easiest and most important thing to do out of every one of the sliders we're going to talk about. Combined with the shot error from before, to keep scores lower, I've got my goalkeeping ability at 65, but it's recommended to keep this at 50. I rely on my keepers a lot, and I also like the drama for YouTube of really close games, maybe 1-0, 2-1, those kind of games. So if you're having a tough time scoring goals, or you wish you could score more goals, make sure you keep this at 50, but I personally like it at 65. The rest of the sliders are fully from Operation Sports with no tweaking of my own, so let's quickly run through these. Marking is set at default 50, this just changes how close an AI will mark your players. Run frequency is set to 10, so this is off the ball non-triggered runs for both me and the AI. We have line height at 78, which helps compress the midfield and make it a little bit more of a battle to win the ball and stops possession gain from the AI. Line length is set to 32, width is set to 49, so just a little bit more narrow than default, positioning to 50, and finally first touch to 70. This combined with the pass error and the shot error means there are a lot of turnovers in midfield. I really do recommend you increasing the first touch error if you are playing at a lower level, because it is a little bit more realistic if you do that. So that's my currently used and my recommended sliders. So to answer the question in the title, should you use sliders for your next career mode? I think absolutely yes. I use them, I enjoy the game more because of them, and I really think you should also start using them if you haven't already decided to start. Hopefully if you spend the time to set these up, you'll be rewarded with a more realistic game where pace and dribbling aren't as useful as passing and strength, which is something that hasn't been the case in FIFA for a long time. There is a couple of other things you can change. You can make the game slower with game speed, faster with game speed. I think all this does is change how fast the animations run by a small amount, but if you are playing on a different game speed, make sure you do search for the Operation Sports sliders forum, because they do have different difficulties, different game speeds, different variations depending if you want harder legendary rather than playing on ultimate, or if you want to play on professional world class, they have a set for that as well. If you've ever used sliders, let me know what your favourite sets are in the comments below, but make sure you do check out the playlist and the video on screen in a minute, and subscribe to my second channel because I'm actually going to be posting a new series very soon. I could use a little bit of help with it, so do check out the Discord because I might be asking for help where I'm going to need some of you guys to actually create some kits. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, join the Discord and feel free to keep an eye out for the announcements channel. But thanks for watching. On screen right now is the playlist and the video. Cheers and goodbye.